create the play, but can you see?
Connor has the puck, made a great shot. One to the second, and that's the score! There it is, Oliver Connor gets the first score of the game.
Takes the game over the early. It's Burley hits the three! Leo scores! Running back another way for the Raiders. Brady shot. Score! Trophy Brady! Slides the back of the net from the faceoff circle, and with 1:14 to go, the Raiders take a 3-2 lead.
And welcome back to an all-new Black Red Blitz. As always, I'm your host, Rebecca Cahn. We've got exciting highlights from 6 games this week. So sit back, relax, and get ready for a ton of Raiders action coming your way. Well, on Friday, girls basketball would kick off the action first, as they would be faced with a challenge even before tip-off, as 2 key players would be missing in the lineup, with captains Leo Sperling and Kelsey Zarro not able to play. But that would be a perfect opportunity for these Raiders to show just how tough the Standard Sisters really are. The depth of this team runs extremely deep, as the Milton Wildcats would quickly find out. Enter Team Beast mode starting now. With Nicole Beckett driving inside the lane for the basket, and Dorian Cohen on this fast break feeds it ahead to Brooke Guifrey. Guifrey goes with a stutter step, then doesn't hesitate, laying it in for 2 more. Quickly, Wellesley opens up a 6-0 edge. No question the Raiders would outwork the Wildcats right from the outset, as Dorian Cohen, crashing the glass, still gets the rebound and put back to fall, despite being surrounded by multiple Wildcats. Milton for now would stick around thanks to the free ball, as Lucy Crawford drains this trade to make it a 10-6 deficit and a timeout on the floor. Raiders, though, in transition are a dominating force that is hard to stop. And a great heads-up pass by Gianna Pali connects with Brooke Guifrey, who pump fakes right, goes left, past Joanna Needham, and Wellesley's lead is now 14-6. Thanks to a solid layup by Lily Malik, who gets the start tonight, the Raiders close out the opening quarter with a 16-10 edge. Opening minutes of the second, we see Milton start to chip away here with a key basket by Danielle Needham. It makes it a 2-point game at 16-14. But that's as close as Wellesley lets them get. Dorian Cohen just drains it from downtown. Cohen then deflects the pass. Molly Cronin comes up with a loose ball, passes on target back ahead to Dorian Cohen, who easily finishes with a fast break layup, and that 16-14 edge a minute ago is now a 22-14 lead for Wellesley. After a Brooke Guifrey tray opens up this third, Wellesley breaks into an up-tempo offense once again, and Milton can't come even close to keeping up, as this bounce pass by Gianna Pali on the run gets an even better finish by Nicole Beckett to double the lead at 30-15. Brooke Guifrey again takes it to the rim, sinking 2 more points in the paint. Now, looking up at a 17-point deficit, the Wildcats have no choice but to call a timeout. That 2-point game we had in the first quarter, it seems so long ago. Out of the break, Carrie Milliken would finally drain this 3 to stop the Raiders' run. Milliken's deep jumper, her 5th point of the quarter, then looks to maybe make somewhat of a dent in Wellesley's 32-20 lead. Let's face it, you know that's not going to last, as the Raiders, relentless on the glass, get 2 more from Nicole Beckett. Gianna Pali baseline, then kicks it outside to Molly Cronin, and Cronin drains it from the perimeter. And it's as if you can hear the whole Milton bench go, ugh. There was a whole lot of offense, defense, diving for loose balls, and crashing the boards for second chance points in this game, and everyone from starter to backup stepped up, and stepped up big. Despite being down 2 players, the Raiders never used that as an excuse and easily beat the Wildcats by the final score 54-30. So we get to focus even more on Raiders basketball. But here on Sunday, we would not be in Wellesley anymore. How about instead Legends Way at TD Garden? Yes, it's the 4th year of the Good Sports Invitational. And honestly, you can't say enough about how fantastic this all-day event is for high school athletes. Well, the girls would kick off the first game of a Wellesley doubleheader as they faced the Lincoln Sudbury Warriors. And personally, getting to film the Raiders at the Garden and that will never get old. But to see these kids get a chance to play on the parquet floor, the same court Celtics legends past and present play on, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that probably 95% of high school players will never get the chance to say they did in their career. For the girls, Wellesley gets that shot for the second year in a row as they tip off against Lincoln Sudbury. With Coach Magpion once again subbing in 5 players at a time like last year so everyone can get a chance to play, Nicole Beckett, Emily Vitapka, Natalie Hone, Brooke Hamilton, and Dorian Cohen to represent the starting 5. And Natalie Hone starts things off the pick and roll, cuts in the lane, and to the basket for 2 to open up the first. Warriors answer right back when Hannah Laporto kicks it out to Larson Henkin, who takes the 3 and makes it for a Lincoln Sudbury 3-2 edge. But spoiler alert, that would be the only lead the Warriors would hold in this game. As the Raiders go right back down the court, Dorian Cohen at the perimeter fakes it, and Cohen drives in the lane, gets fouled, makes it, and won. If you remember last year, the 3-ball rained down all game. But in this match, those shots don't really fall. But that's okay as Wellesley wisely focuses on getting points in the paint and driving to the rim instead. And why not when you get great plays like this? Leo Sperling completely sells it at the perimeter and has an all-access pass to the rim. Sperling banks in the layup and one for a Wellesley 5-point advantage. Solid passing inside continues this time by Izzy Hartnett as Hartnett feeds it inside to Molly Cronin. Cronin's turnaround won't fall, but Dorian Cohen crashing the boards makes sure the putback this time goes in, and it's 10-6 Wellesley in the opening quarter. Gianna Pali, impressive as a sophomore already, handling the ball extremely well, is heads up here on the inbounds, dishing it to Maddie Fleming, and Fleming bangs in her first 2 points of the game to help push a Raiders advantage to 12-6. Just a side note, as this second quarter starts up, the Raiders the night before had the cotillion dance, so this team is playing on very little sleep. They're driving to the basket, making plays in transition, back and forth up the court. Do these kids even look tired? I didn't think so. Larson Henkin answers from downtown for the Warriors though, as the deficit is back to single digits, as their captain has 7 of their 9 points so far in this first half. Lincoln Sudbury continues to stick around here though, as this nice offensive rebound and putback by Sophia Rose cuts it to 20-13 Warriors deficit. But on this fast break, Lincoln Sudbury looking to push it to 5 points. Instead, Brooke Hamilton gets Hannah Laporto called for the offensive foul. Right back on the other end, Natalie Hone again with another great pass, this time to Dorian Cohen, who cuts in the lane, and that pushes it to a 9-point lead, 22-13. The third starts up, and Lincoln Sudbury has been denied in the paint so far, so they have to rely on the perimeter instead. And so CJ Jones brings down this rebound off the miss, setting up Gianna Pali in transition, who flips it ahead to Lily Malik. Malik with the bounce pass frees up Brooke Griefrey for the sweet finish and a 27-13 lead. Pick and roll works again as Dorian Cohen still picks up the pass inside for the finish, as Wellesley has just looked fantastic in the paint all game. Warriors try for a second half comeback here as the 3-ball finally starts falling for them. Carly Van Leer from the corner drains it. Then Van Leer, by way of assist, kicks it out to Grace Bilby. And Bilby from NBA land sinks it, and the deficit is now back at 10 as the last minute of this third ticks away. But with 5 minutes to go in the final frame, another Gianna Pali heads-up pass on the inbounds sparks this Lily Malik layup. And then baseline, Gianna Pali again swings it back out to CJ Jones. Jones drains the jumper, and it's Raiders 35, Warriors 26. With only seconds left to this game and a 37-28 Raider lead, Larson Henkin drains it from deep downtown, making the final score look deceivingly closer. But all Wellesley has to do is let the remaining seconds tick away, and that makes it a 37-31 final score here. Despite every quarter being pushed from 8 minutes to 7, being without junior captain Kelsey Zarro and playing on very limited sleep, the Raiders made sure to make every minute count on the floor. And as a team, make even more memories in their second victory at TD Garden. It will never get old playing on the parquet. It will always be an experience you will never forget for years to come. Always reppin', always Band of Sisters. Well, to close out this Wellesley doubleheader, the excitement continues here as the boys are next. Back in 2014, in the first year of the Good Sports Invitational, the Raiders boys basketball team got a chance to play against St. John's Prep. Well, now they're back here today as they face their rivals, the Needham Rockets. No matter the outcome, this has got to be something no player from Wellesley or Needham will ever forget. It's always a different energy on game day when you have one of the oldest high school rivalries come together to compete. Now put it on the garden floor, and that just makes it even more special. So let's get things started here as Raiders work quickly on this fast break. And Alex Barron lays it in for the first 2 points of this first. Already halfway through the opening quarter, and Jack Wazell drives in the lane, gets the floater to bounce in, and we're tied up at 6. Will Cooper posts up and sinks at baseline though for Needham, and so after 1 played, it's Rockets with a 10-6 edge. Here in the second though, the Raiders offense would hit a wall, unfortunately, whereas Needham is just lights out. Sparked first by their huge size advantage, with 2 players standing in at 6'6" and 6'7". And coming off the bench, Brendan Smith is one of them. Brendan Smith's 6-0 run here forces a Wellesley timeout, and already it's 16-6 Rockets. Needham also has a solid guard here in Thomas O'Shaughnessy, who helps command this second. O'Shaughnessy deflects the ball away from Ryan Murray. Matthew Shaker picks up the loose ball and lobs it high and over back to Thomas O'Shaughnessy on the run, who lays it in for the fast break finish. 21-6 Needham just like that, and another Wellesley timeout has to be taken. Looking for any points offensively, Colin Blasco off the screen dishes it inside to Max Guifrey. Guifrey banks it in for 2 points that Wellesley definitely needed here. Stopping an 11-0 Rockets run, but still down big. With everyone also getting a chance to play in this game, Andrew Walthall, fresh off the bench, finally pushes Wellesley into double digits here with this tray. But as halftime rolls around, it's all Rockets so far, leading 28-11. Third quarter, the story remains the same as Needham builds their lead even more as Thomas O'Shaughnessy continues to let a spark in the Rockets' offense. And unfortunately, that just makes the Raider deficit that much bigger. But as we fast forward to the fourth and final quarter, just because Raiders are losing big, it doesn't mean they stop playing. Again, the bench would spark some energy here as Alex Stoddard gets not 1 but 2 trays to fall. Despite an uphill battle they've been stuck looking up at for the majority of this game, nobody is giving up. And still, you never saw the Raiders stop competing. Down by 15, but fighting for a steal like it's only 2 points that separates these 2 rivals. You gotta respect that. Hustle doesn't go unnoticed. So as Needham's lead of 47-32 becomes a final, and sure, this wasn't the outcome these Raiders had hoped for. But win or lose, it'll be the little things. Walking through the same back entrance the Celtics take, wearing VIP passes, going past the locker rooms all the Boston greats have sat in, all the way to a once-in-a-lifetime chance to actually play at the Garden. These are the memories every player will remember, not the final score. This game would officially close out a Wellesley doubleheader. What a day for Raiders basketball. Well, coming off a solid 2-0 win shutting out Norwood, boys hockey would have a rare Monday afternoon face-off at Babson in a non-league matchup with the Oliver Ames Tigers. Now, the Tigers have been that kind of team that have given the Raiders problems. Last year's game-tying score with just seconds left was a tough one to take for the Raiders, especially on their home ice. So not wanting to see Oliver Ames' last-second dramatics again, the Raiders look to score first and keep it that way. So after Zach Walsh makes a nice breakaway save, it's an offensive zone face-off and a great chance for the Raiders. Joey Simmering finds the puck along the board, sets and flips the puck towards net. Walsh kicks it back out but helps Wellesley instead as Michael Simmering goes 5-hole, just over 6 minutes to play in this opening period. Wellesley leads 1-0. But the Tigers answer just about a minute later as Eric LeBlanc steps in front of Darryl Webb, takes the puck, snipes it glove side, finding the back of the net for the equalizer. A huge defensive stop though by the Raiders comes right here with seconds to spare in this first. Breakaway, 2-on-1. Brett Williams' shot forces Andrew Hubbard out left side crease. Heads up play by Liam Morgan saves the puck from crossing a near empty net, and Morgan saves a goal. So we are tied, still at 1-1 heading into the second. But after Rory Madden's one-timer goes for a Tigers go-ahead score, and 2 goals unanswered now leaves the Raiders facing a 1-goal deficit. but leave it up to the Simmering brothers to change that. Defensive zone faceoff, Joey Simmering wins the draw, feeds it ahead to Michael Simmering. Racing down the ice on the breakaway, Michael centers it to Joey. Joey Simmering stick side buries the equalizer, and it's 2-2 and a minute 33 left in the second. We're tied up once again. So the third period comes around where just a year ago, Oliver Ames sucker punched Wellesley's defense with a late scoring, game-tying goal. Well, with just seconds left, Tigers do it again. Puck's on the doorstep, Eric LeBlanc can't punch in the putback, but Rory Madden can and does with 21.2 seconds on the clock. This one's gotta hurt even more for Wellesley, as this one in the end goes for a loss. As Rory Madden's second goal of the night would be the game-winning dagger here, as the Tigers take this one by the final 3-2. So coming in at 7-0, girls basketball would be back at home to face a struggling 2-6 Brookline squad. Now for Wellesley, already playing on Friday night, Sunday, and now back at it here on Tuesday night, the Raiders might understandably be a little tired. So if you're Brookline, maybe you're thinking, upset? But if you're Wellesley, you're thinking, yeah, I don't think so. So early in the game, first quarter struggles surprisingly come to the Raiders, despite having all three captains back and healthy. The open looks are there, but the rim is so far not being kind to Wellesley. The free ball on the other side, though, initially works for the Warriors. Maya Page and Serena Smith build a quick 6-2 edge in the first. Coach Magpion doesn't like what he sees, and it's a Wellesley timeout already, Brookline with an 8-2 lead. Wellesley fights back, and off this great fast break pass by Lily Malik, Brooke Reefrey takes the contact, makes the shot, and one. And after the made free throw, the Raiders take their first lead 9-8 late in the opening quarter. Then Ashley Olsen, no, not the twin from Full House, drains the tray and helps the Warriors close out the first with the lead, 13-9. Opening up the second baseline on the inbounds, Gianna Piley pumps left, throws right to Kelsey Zarro. Zarro corner three, cuts the net with the sweet sound of a swish. Serena Smith counters right back though with a three of her own. Brookline is back to a 4-point lead, 16-12. But Wellesley goes back to the paint with a great move inside by Leo Sperling. Sperling banks it in for two. Down by 1, 17-16, Leo Sperling and Dorian Cohen double up on Sydney Jones with some smothering defense. Ball goes off Jones, turnover, Warriors. That sets up a great possession by Wellesley right here as Brooke Reefrey drains it from downtown. And now it's 19-17 Wellesley. Raiders end the second quarter on a high note in transition. Fast break, Kelsey Zarro on point with the pass. An even better finish by Dorian Cohen. So heading into halftime, Raiders' lead is 21-17. Raiders have had no problem running over their opponents this season. So a 4-point lead, while still good, you know these Raiders will come out of halftime with a chip on their shoulder, ready to bring it in this third. Well, that is exactly what they do in this game-changing quarter, as they blow this game away, shot after shot. Leo Sperling kicks it back out to Gianna Piley, who drains the three. In transition, Sperling to Piley, inside to Dorian Cohen, who banks it in. Gianna Piley then swings it out to Brooke Reefrey for the three, and nails it. Timeout Warriors, 31-19 Wellesley, just like that. Now that's more like it. After Brookline cuts it back to an 8-point deficit at 31-23, Raiders go right back in transition as Warriors cannot keep up with them. Lily Malik fast break layup puts the lead right back up to double digits, where it stays. Dorian Cohen ends this exciting quarter, driving to the basket, getting the floater to go for two of her game-high 18 points. And yes, these 8 minutes in this third just left Brookline in the dust. Well, if the Warriors had any hopes of taking advantage of a slow start offensively by Wellesley, there would be no upset today. Only wishful thinking. Raiders' suffocating defense held Brookline to 8 points in these last two quarters. The third quarter was key, the spark that continued in this fourth as the game was officially put away. So this would be another fun team win to watch play out on the court for sure, as the Raiders go to 8-0 and in the end easily take care of the Warriors, 49-25. Well, after a tough loss on the road to their rivals Needham on Monday, girls hockey would get even more motivation come Wednesday night, as Wellesley would finally get two of their captains back in senior Amy Dorr and junior Phoebe Lawrence. No question, an extra spark was added to the lineup for sure, as Wellesley would get ready to face off against Brookline Newton South. The first line has battled hard despite the absence of defenseman Amy Dorr. Well, the defense just got that much better with Dorr ready to go after missing these last few games. For Phoebe Lawrence, it's been a longer journey, suffering a serious injury way back in September that crushed her hopes of playing field hockey her junior year, and caused doubts of whether hockey would even happen this season. Well, there's nothing better than proving people wrong. Now with their teammates looking even more pumped and ready to go, you can't deny Dorr and Lawrence just makes this team's depth, well, even more deep. Their lines that much tougher to stop. So yeah, Brookline Newton South looks like you picked a great time to stop in at Babson. Let's fast forward to the second period, as so far it's still a scoreless tie. That changes only a minute and 10 seconds into the second though. 4-on-4, Amy Dorr fires on net. Puck hits off Katie Hawkinson, ricochets just inside the slot to Kat Donahue. Donahue with a slap shot, 5 holds it past traffic and past Daphne Francis in net. Defense scores on offense as the assist goes to Amy Dorr and a huge goal by Kat Donahue gives Raiders a 1-0 lead. A minute later, just as the power play expires, Amy Dorr with the shot again. Skate deflection off Elise Coakley leaves Francis with just a pad save option, just waiting for a no-look backhanded goal by Emily Rourke on the doorstep for a fantastic put-back score. She's a freshman. Rourke puts Wellesley up by 2 just like that. Raiders aren't done yet, but they kind of take forever on this third one. Just kidding, it's 2 minutes later instead of 1. As Elise Coakley kicks it outside to Kat Donahue. Donahue fires on net again in heavy traffic. Puck deflects off Devin Chapman's stick and in. Score goes to Chapman. And Wellesley has 3 goals in the first 4 minutes, 80 seconds of this game-defining second period. What a response. With just 13.2 seconds left in this exciting second period though, Warrior Lions are the Debbie Downer on skates though, as Kara Terranova's one-timer finds the back of the net to finally put Brookline Newton South on the board. Still down 3-1, but not how Wellesley wants to close out a period. But that would be all the offense the Warrior Lions would get as freshman Liddy Schultz would play solid in her first start for the Raiders. And Wellesley officially puts this game away for good with this empty netter score by Emily Rourke under a minute and counting to go in this third and final period. Goals by Donahue, Chapman, and Rourke in that second really set the tone for the rest of this game. And so Raiders get back over 500, winning 4-1 over Brookline Newton South, as this team will be fighting extra hard in their next 5 games, as they will all be on the road. Well, that was a ton of highlights, but what a great week for Wellesley sports. That does it for this episode, but catch up on any highlights right here on Red Blitz. And for full games, check us out on demand at wellesleymedia.org, our YouTube and Facebook pages at Wellesley Public Media, and of course right here on Comcast 9 and Verizon 39. This is Red Blitz. Thanks for watching. Go Raiders.